Alright, man. So I saw a pretty cool video earlier today. It was Mitch from hardintentions.com. Hard Intentions is his YouTube channel. Awesome content. Just talking about tattooing, like how he got into tattooing and his enthusiasm to do so. This is like part of things that I don't see in young people tattooing anymore. Um, it's really awesome to see a man that just is in love with the art and impressed by it so much that he continued on and learned to uh, do some great work, man. You know, his paintings are beautiful, man. Just beautiful acrylic on canvas. Mm. I love to paint, man, but mm, his stuff's really, really, really nice. I could not even imagine detailing out a motorcycle in acrylic like that. Props to you, Mitch. Good looking stuff, man. Keep that work going. Okay, now we're gonna skip off tattooing for just a blink, and I'm gonna tell you the little background music you hear. That's White Girl. She's from Miami. You can look her up on Instagram or YouTube. It's WYTEGIIRL. White Girl. Great music, man. Like her and her husband, man. His name's King Sean. Great music too, man. Check it out. You can't go wrong with it. So we're gonna talk just a little bit about how people get started uh, tattooing. I've seen so many people start and quit, but it's not about quitting. It's about sticking with it, man. To me, so it's interesting to see people give it a shot and then they realize they're not really about it or whatever. But the thing is, man, is you have to teach yourself to draw. Like, if you can't draw, then you practice, 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 practice. You know. But anyhow, man, it's interesting the beginnings of people's tattoo story. I really, really love that part of tattooing. It's the history behind it, and that's awesome. Like this man Mitch, again, hardintentions.com. He sells t-shirts, hoodies, hats, really cool artwork on them. They're awesome. Should check them out. Anyway, I watched him do an interview about tattooing earlier. It was really, really cool, man. When I was I was way younger, man. I think in like 84, 85, I read the article that Mitch wrote, and I think it was Skin and Ink back then. But Easy Rider magazine, they had they had control of all tattoo magazines, so they had like three-ish then. We used to ride from Mississippi to Louisiana to buy them just because no one around here sold tattoo magazines. The only way you could get a tattoo magazine is if you ended up in a damn porn shop, like looking at pornography, and sometimes you just luck out and get a damn tattoo magazine. But honestly, we just skipped state border, went to Louisiana, and bought them because there was a store there we knew. And anyway, so it was really, really cool to hear him talk about that. And I remember, I believe it was Mr. Cartoon that did some. Man, Mr. Cartoon's a smoking artist, but I mean, I think back then he did a couple interviews in some magazines as well. I'm uncertain if he was doing time, but I remember strictly some penitentiary tattooers that did interviews coming out of Chino, and man, they set the bar for all mural tattooing. Like they set the bar. Like I call it Chicano style art. It's no disrespect to anybody. I love that art, man. Murals that tell stories. It's almost like they took graffiti and they turned it into the style of tattooing. And it's a beautiful thing, man. Just a beautiful thing. Anyway, you can check out Mr. Cartoon on Instagram. His work's smoking, man. Like, that man can airbrush. His airbrushing about make you pass out. It looks so cool. He's got a decked out ice cream truck on hydraulics, man. I always got respect for Mr. Cartoon. He kind of inspired me coming up, man. I love his black and gray work. It's really awesome to see. I don't know. I think it's just other coastline influence, man. And that's beautiful, man. And all fine line tattooing, stipple shading, and all that stuff. That came out of California, man. It started there, and people adapted to it. And many big name tattooers like Jack Rudy learned from Hispanic guys like in the area, because they were really putting out some beautiful portraits and stuff like that. There was stipple, fine line, beautiful tattooing, and because they were more professional than the people they were eyeballing, it was kind of cool, man, because that shit just pumped up tattooing at that moment, man. Black and gray work was beautiful, like beautiful stuff. Lives a long time on skin, looks good. Sun don't affect it quite as much as color does, you know. But it was really great stuff, man. It still is great stuff. Like, every bit of it is awesome. Like, you're hard pressed to find something Mr. Cartoon did, or any of the Hispanic men that are from California. You can't mess with that. Like, man, that's beautiful work, right? It is, and it's timeless, man. Just beautiful work. Okay, now we're gonna switch off that and we'll talk about something else. Okay, y'all all need to go check out my homeboy Splinter. His YouTube channel is Prison POV, all capital letters in the POV, Prison, capital POV. Check his channel out, man. His content is amazing. It'll change your life. It'll make your day go by. But it's kind of killer, man. And I've kind of befriended this man, and it's awesome to me. Anyway, maybe if the planets align just right, it'd be really awesome to me to do a little interview with Mr. Mitch. Just because he had some kind of a hunger for tattooing. I grew up with that hunger, man, from a small child. Stick pin tattoos on myself when I was 8 years old. Come up from that to, like, I wasn't 14, but I was fixing to be 14. Got tattooed by a machine. I fell in love. I was like, oh my God, man. With the tattoo machine, you can do some beautiful shit you cannot do with a stick pin. Because I've already been stick pinning tattoos. I had probably 9 or 10 stick pin tattoos by then. But it's really cool to hear guys that have been around a long time and their influence and how they got into tattooing and how much they loved it to dedicate their time to it. And to see a man Mitch's age still loving tattooing, that's an awesome thing, man. That's a great thing. Okay, one more time, let me put one more shout out there. King Shine, Miami, Florida. White Girl, Miami, Florida. They're on YouTube. Look it up. They got great content, and their music's awesome, man. The only reason their music's not selling in a store somewhere is because nobody's picked them up yet. But you can bet they won't take long. Their music's fire. You can hear it in the background. Yeah, good stuff, man. Okay, well, I'm going to cut this loose, man. But I wanted to say this is about influences. Tattooers get influenced even when they're really young. And they see something and it's amazing to them. And then they kind of can't stop. It's a compulsion to me. Like when I was a little kid and I saw the first man with an electric tattoo machine in his hand, I was like, oh damn, I'm doing it. And I have been ever since. Like as soon as I get my hands on it, yep, I never stopped. Yep, don't ever stop. On a positive note, man, do yourself a favor, man, and try to keep a positive vibe during this crap that's going on. You know what I'm talking about on the news and all this stuff. It's scary to a lot of folks. Lord willing, and I believe in God, so don't get me slipping with no religious discussions. Because I believe, man, I was raised Pentecostal, and I don't deny that. And my mother was a great woman, and she made sure that I was in church and stuff like that. So, I just am trying to say, man, stay positive, man. All that negativity will just get you in a dark spot that you can't escape from, man. And we're not about that. It ain't gonna help nobody. You're gonna be okay. We just gotta ride out this wave. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, and I'm gonna say, you better check out King Shine and White Girl. I messaged her to make sure I can play her stuff in the background in this video. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Love y'all from Mississippi with love. See you next time.